Hello, I'm Daphne Goode in spectacular Goldstream Park, just adjacent to the Malahat Drive. And even in the showery spring weather, any time is a good time to have a walk in Goldstream Park. All of the plants and the trees are coming alive. We'll find out more because we're headed just down the trail about 10 minutes to the Nature House, toasty and warm and open all year round. Thanks for joining us on Go Island, Cowichan Valley. On today's show, an old world craftsman is beating the clock to resurrect a boat with a long BC history. A little fame comes to a young hockey player, and enjoying the natural world at Goldstream Park. All that and more on Go Island, Cowichan Valley.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
We have a perfect guide, Allison Roberts, who's been with the Goldstream Nature House in this whole area for some time. First of all, let's just tell people who haven't already been to the Nature House, or maybe they haven't visited for a few years, Allison, what is new? Because you do replenish things a lot here.
So we're always changing up what we have on display at the Nature House, and we're basically trying to have things that enlighten you on what you can find out in the park. Because sometimes people ask, why would I go inside a building to learn about nature? But you come in here, we're going to get you really excited about the things you can see in the park, and then you're going to head out there and your eyes will be wide open.
Yeah, no kidding. Plus, you do have some live cams. It's always fun to look at nature really up close for those people who don't have their binoculars.
Exactly, and this is a good reason to come to the Nature House in all the different seasons, because our live cams are based on what's happening in the lives of the animals around us. So right now we have a little pinhole camera that's looking in the roof of a violet green swallow box, so you can watch the birds come in. They're bringing feathers and grass in to make a nest. They're going to lay their eggs. The eggs are going to hatch. They're going to fledge, they're going to fly off, and then we're going to have empty nest syndrome.
Aww.
But then you'll see something new happening. We might have our bat cam coming in for the summer. We also always have our estuary camera, which is a remote control camera that looks out in the estuary so we can see the eagles and other birds that are coming into that estuary area.
Yeah, speaking, I want a little nature tour inside here. Speaking of the estuary, well, it's teeming with life. What kind of life?
Well, as I mentioned, there's eagles are what our estuary is known for, especially during just after the salmon run, which of course we're a little bit later than that now, but we are seeing there's a pair of eagles that nest nearby, and we'll see them, doing some getting their nest ready. They're going to fledge hopefully a couple of young, and then we get to watch them learning how to fly in the summertime. That's exciting. The plant life that grows in the estuary is really unique because you have a saltwater, freshwater combination going on, the river and the ocean mixing. The estuary isn't open for you to walk out there, but again, with the estuary camera, you can see things like the gumweed and the Queen Anne's lace and that kind of thing growing out there.
Yeah, there's some really beautiful sights. As a matter of fact, on the way down the trail, we saw almost like a forest of skunk cabbage that is absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't really smell that bad up close.
Well, you can definitely smell the skunk cabbage. We were just talking, a couple of my fellow naturalists and I, about how the children this year seem so attracted to the skunk cabbage. Maybe it's the smell, maybe it's the bright yellow color, but skunk cabbage itself is amazing. When you go back, have a look and see there's tiny flowers in that center cone, and on those tiny flowers you'll see little beetles, and that's actually what pollinates the flowers.
That's great. More of our nature tour in just a few minutes after our break. And we're also going to introduce you to a most amazing man. Recently we were at the Cowichan Maritime Center. We met one of the older shipwrights, a fascinating guy. So Paul Beilstein caught up with him again to get some detail on what he's doing in his restoration work. Back in a moment. Goldstream Park's Nature House is dedicated to a legendary naturalist. Freeman Skipper King loved nature in all its forms. His curiosity led him to explore the world at his feet, where he discovered plants and animals that most of us have never seen. Skipper's love of people was demonstrated daily in his 10 years as a park naturalist. Children were always welcomed by Skipper. He made time for them and loved teaching them about nature. That tradition continues today at the Goldstream Nature House. These Cowichan Valley students are from Bench Elementary School, and today they're learning about insects, frogs, and beavers. The kids are full of questions about the animals and plants inside the nature house, and there is plenty of time as well for outdoor excursions in the lush forest around the Goldstream Nature House. Tracy Bleakley takes questions from this enthusiastic group who first learn about insects while their classmate is transformed using some fun fabrics and imagination. Then it's over to the micro world, where animals are seen in maximum close-up before heading outside, where the children will learn about nature as they explore the forest and participate in some fun games. Some school children have even left their own mark at the Goldstream Nature House. Here are murals that have been created by grade 3 students at Ecole Mill Bay and grade 1 students at St. Joseph's Elementary School. Spring school programs are offered regularly at the Goldstream Nature House. For those in the Cowichan Valley, there are also programs offered on the beach at Bamberton, a little closer to home. The naturalists also visit schools all over Vancouver Island. To learn more about school programs at Goldstream Park or to book a naturalist to visit your school, go to the website naturehouse.ca or call 250-478-9414. We'll take a little break right now, but we'll be back with the story of one young hockey player who had a chance to meet his favorite Vancouver Canuck. Let's have a look at the micro world with the microscope generously donated by the Victorian Natural History Society. Allison, can you play with that?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So we're zoomed right in on something, and if you look at that, you think, what is that? Now, if we zoom the microscope out, you still might be asking, what is that? That's some of our lungwort lichen that you can find out in the park. But this microscope is amazing because kids can use this. It's really simple. It's a fantastic instrument that, again, was donated by the VNHS, and it allows you to zoom right in to some of the nature you find out in the park.
That's fantastic. It almost looks like a snake skin.
It does, but don't worry, it's more like something an elk would like to eat. Not humans, though.
No, I guess not. You know, I look around and I see the world of owls, and I see all kinds of birds and characters, even pioneers over there. Lots that people can enjoy here. But as well, the outdoors is going to become really active very soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just teeming out there. It's spring, so the park is coming to life. There are so many plants just in bloom. And the great thing about Goldstream is the way that the mountains are, it's almost like it's a little bit behind. If you go down to Greater Victoria, things bloom a little bit earlier down there, but here we're a little bit behind, and you can come out here and catch things that maybe you think have left until the summer. So we've got flowers like Pacific waterleaf, the salmonberry are in bloom, even the Indian plum is starting to flower, and that makes the forest magical.
Very, very pretty. We were noticing the colors as we were strolling down. Allison, tell us about some new things. There's always something new here. It's a good reason to visit. And if you've been at the Goldstream Nature House before in the past, I bet you, if you haven't been here in 6 months, there's something new here.
There's always something new, so it's always worthwhile to take that walk from the day use area down the Riverside Trail down to the visitor center. We just finished our prospector time of year where we were teaching everybody about the gold rush. Because if you think about the name of the park, Goldstream, it might have something to do with the gold rush. If you come down, though, we still have our information up that you can maybe find out for yourself. Okay. Why we call it Goldstream Park.
There's also the amphitheater. There will be soon a playground, I understand?
Yeah, so the park itself, Goldstream Park, has tons of new stuff happening. If you've camped here in the past, a lot of visitors have said it would be great to have a playground for the kids. Well, finally the playground's coming. We're super excited. It should be here by the long weekend in May, but if not, it'll definitely be ready by the summertime. There's a new stairway and platform to view Goldstream Falls. That's the falls closer to the campground. It's beautiful stainless steel staircase. Our welcome center is going to be open. If you pull into the parking lot and you're wondering, where am I? Where do I go? stop by the Welcome Center on the weekends in May and June, and all through the summer there'll be somebody there to give you information and maybe sell you a hot bag of popcorn.
Yum. You know, a lot of us are sure glad that the Nature House is still here, that there are also naturalists who can help describe the natural world to all of us. You're also welcoming. But it wasn't easy, and it still is not, because funding has been dwindling, correct?
Yes, we're still in the state of having no government funding since 2002, but I really think the community has helped us to keep on going. So our Nature House having a gift shop to sell books and stuffed animals and nature-based toys, that really helps us to keep things going. Of course, we love donations. We're also doing some things like we're running some tours that generate revenue and help us just to keep the doors open, and a naturalist here 364 days a year.
That is really something. So tell us the hours that people can enjoy the park, come down, enjoy the day use area, the campground, and the Nature House.
Yeah, so the park itself is open during the daylight hours, and the signs will be posted on the gates and at the entranceways if there's a closing time. The Nature House itself, 9 to 4:30, 7 days a week you can come and visit us. And then when it gets to the summertime, we sometimes are open a little bit later, but we haven't quite determined that yet.
Thanks, Allison. Well, it's a good thing for all of us that you studied environmental studies at UVic, and you've been just in love with nature for years. You've certainly still got the enthusiasm for it. What promotes that sort of interest, do you think, in younger children?
Well, I mean, that's really near and dear to all of our hearts right now. Of course, those of us working in the field, we're passionate about inspiring a love of nature and a connection to nature. And I think we're all becoming increasingly aware that sometimes children aren't getting that experience anymore. So we're working hard to ensure that all children from across, the entire island, because we have nature houses in other locations on the island too, and we're trying to ensure that we really give the kids a chance to be comfortable in nature and to really connect. And once they connect with it, then they're going to be the future guardians of our entire planet, right? So we've got to build that connection, and we're pretty happy that we still get a chance to do that.
Donations to the Goldstream Nature Center help support new exhibits, school and public programs, and a lot more. Get ready to enjoy many activities at Goldstream this spring and summer. There is lots of hiking on both sides of the park, from Mount Finlayson to Niagara Falls. Lots of trails as well, and campers love to swim at Goldstream Falls in the summer. The new campground playground should be open by May long weekend. Amphitheater summer programs will be posted on the website. May 18th will feature Conservation Funk. Visit the Nature House to learn more about conserving natural spaces. View the hummingbirds now. There are lots of feeders at the Nature House. The Welcome Center will be open on weekends in May and June, and full-time late June to the end of summer. For more information, go to the website naturehouse.ca or call 250-478-9414. Thanks a lot for joining us on the program from Goldstream Park, next to the Malahat Drive. It's astonishing. You can learn so much here at the Nature House, and just by observing nature outside here on the trails and by the river. And behind us, you see these amazing cedars, among the oldest and largest living things in Canada. Keep that thought in mind and come out and appreciate it yourself. Remember, we enjoy receiving your story ideas, so don't hesitate to contact us on Twitter or Facebook, or you could email us if you like. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir. Casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.